G'day and welcome back to another blaster overview. So this time I'm bringing out my purple Nexus. Was my first Nexus, first proper springer, my first imported blaster, and it is great. This thing is known for shooting like a laser. Um, Unfortunately, I've just got this stock on there at the moment because it's one of the few which I got left. It's got a mild cheek riser. I prefer my cheek risers. Um, Originally, she did have a nice stylish stock off a SCD6 gel blaster, but that eventually snapped. Is what it is. My rear grip left the blaster in the car for a little bit too long and I melted, but that's now literally formed to my hand and I love that. Bit of a mistake, but it worked out all good in the end. Thank God I had that freaking grip wrap on it. Little mascot Ganga, as you can tell, big fan of Ganga. The foregrips from AK Blast Mods. The scope itself is one of the leftovers from Gel Blaster days, and it's down the front sight just for these scopes chew through batteries for some reason, so little front sight just to keep a bit of a line up. She did originally have the out of dart scar on it. That's now my Kieran Type A. Unfortunately, something happened. It didn't want to seal properly and kept coming loose and falling out. So I've had to just go with some rifle barrel in a mock suppressor for the moment. Works internally. She's got sweet FA done to her. A little bit of plumber's tape going around the O-ring for the plunger, a blowout block, and some brass barrel, which is nested inside the original barrel. She's a 200 FPS blaster, freaking with a 175 cat. If I flip the inner collar spring around, I can get this thing up to 230. Basically, my gold Nexus won't get that high, only gets 210 doing that. But 230 with a brass barrel, this is where it's at. This is built, not brought, with very little done to it. And what can I say? It's just a fantastic blaster. The reputation which this thing has at field is great. More than a few of those in the field know that this thing will shoot across our local. If I can get it into a tower, I'm shooting from tower to tower. Yeah, this thing is great. One of my favourite blasters. Unfortunately, after a couple of years of being used in games, swapping sights, modifying, tuning up, she has got a fair bit of scratches in her paint. But yeah. As for the paint, if anybody's wondering, this is just a white matte freaking with freaking a gloss clear coat going across the top, but not on the bottom. Purple with freaking a black crackle freaking aerosol paint, which is going over top, and that's how I've got this effect. Yeah. Out of darts, freaking is where I got my purple filament for that. It was fantastic. Love these rails. Helps even it up. Rear grip, I printed myself. Yeah. And that's also from Out of Darts. I'll sling them out. But that's about it. That's all I can say about this. This is one of my pride and joys. This is one of my main primaries. If I'm worried that one of my blasters is going to fail, this will be it game. Basically, for more than a few times, I've actually taken this all the way to respawn, expecting one of my newer blasters not to perform as well as I liked. So, mid-game, I can swap to something that is reliable, and this is where it's at. This was originally just an orange Nexus, as cheap as it got, built as cheap as possible, and yeah, this thing was modified and hitting freaking 230s before the metal kits came out. So for a while she did have a nice reputation of being an extremely hard hitting Nexus. But yeah, she is what she is, and she's my beauty. I still haven't named her after all this time. I don't know if I ever will name her, but other than that, she's great. This is where blasters should be. Um, if you're not picking up a blaster and knowing that this is what you want to be using, or have building a blaster that you know you can come back and rely on, you're building your blasters wrong. This here, I know I'll come back to. This here, I know I can rely on, and that's why I love it. I know a couple of the other people around freaking feel the exact way freaking about some of their blasters, and that's what I like to see is just people showing encouragement. I've gotten a few tips for these over the years. I've given plenty of tips myself, but if you want something reliable, you want something cheap, you want something that's easy to build, this is the cheapest build. Freaking, I'll probably go freaking to get to 200 FPS. And yeah, as I said, plum estate, brass barrel, orange Nexus, done. Alright, hope you enjoyed. Blast on.